Welcome to another Southern California Prep Insider Baseball podcast. And Les, it's playoff times, man.
Oh, it's the best time of the year, man. Next to Christmas, this is my favorite time of the year, Tommy.
So here's what we're going to do since, top 10s don't matter anymore. Players week from last week, yeah, great. But we really want to talk about the playoff games. So we're going to go through all the wild card games today. 3 all the way down to 1. Division 3 all the way down to 1. And try and say a little bit about them. Try and pick them too. It's going to be a lot, so we're going to go as quickly as possible, as efficiently as possible. Les, you ready to go?
Let's rock.
All right, here we go. Starting Division 3, it is the wild card A game. They'll play Maranatha, the winner will. It is Culver City going to Palos Verdes.
Yeah, man, I like Palos Verdes in this one. A little bit tougher league that they're playing in the Bay League. Plus, they're at home. I think their pitching has been really good this year. Obviously, when they're playing the big dogs like Redondo and Maricosta, it's going to be a challenge. But I just like Palos Verdes in this one. Culver City's a little bit down, in my opinion. Lost a lot of talent from their roster last year.
I'll agree with you. I'll go with PV. Mason Lee hitting .469 with 3 home runs for Culver City, though. I want to mention him. He's got 23 RBIs as well. Bo Henderson is probably who they're going to get on the mound to face from Palos Verdes. He's a good pitcher. He's got a 1.62 ERA. So that's why I like Palos Verdes. The wildcard B game, they'll play San Luis Obispo. It is Campbell Hall traveling to Oxnard.
Yeah, these guys, it's unfortunate these guys have to play in a wild card game because I'd like to see Oxnard's ace go against San Luis Obispo and Cooper Benson. But, yeah, I think Oxnard's ace here in this game is going to really carry them. They are playing really well. The pitching has been lights out for them. Second place out of the Pacific View League. Campbell Hall is pretty good. Fourth place team out of the Gold Coast League. So that tells you that league might be viewed as being a little bit more difficult, given that 4 teams got in. One in the wild card. But I'm going to go with Oxnard. They're at home. They've got the pitching. I think Campbell Hall does have the advantage, though, in the hitting.
I'll agree with you. I will go Oxnard. Joshua Romero hitting .456 with 3 triples for Oxnard. And the pitcher you were referencing, I think, is Andrew Terrazon. He's got a .91 ERA, 31 strikeouts so far this season. Again, I'm going to go ahead and make the assumption that all the aces are going to pitch on the wild card game.
Yeah.
Actually, before we even get there, thoughts on going with the number 2 guy and saving the ace? Bad or good idea?
It's funny you have this question, man. I talked to a coach yesterday that was telling me that his head coach was thinking about doing that in their opening round in Division I. And look, the last thing you want to do is lose a game with your ace fully rested. So, I just think you have to throw your ace because there is no next game if you lose, right? So you have to go with what got you there. And if your best pitcher is fully rested and you took the loss, that's going to be a tough one to live down. So I'm all about throwing your ace in the opening game.
I like rolling the dice, but that's just me. Anyway, going to wild card C. We've got San Juan Hills at Redlands. The winner will play Korean Lutheran.
Yeah, this one, in my opinion, is probably the most intriguing of all these wild card games. Redlands coming out of the Citrus Belt League, third place team there. Really good league, won by JW North. It's just a top to bottom, a really good league in the IE. And then San Juan Hills out of the Seaview League. Look, Tesoro ran away with that league. Trabuco Hills also in that league. Some good teams in that league. And San Juan Hills was right there in the thick of it, coming to third place. I'm picking the Stallions to go on the road and pull off the upset against Redlands here.
I'll disagree with you. I'm going to take Redlands. Justin Schubert going to play New Mexico State next year. He's hitting .372 for them. And Marcus Zafria, who I think will be on the mound for Redlands, has a .64 ERA and a 9-1 record. It's going to be tough to go against him. Wild card D game now. It is Burroughs going to Downey. The winner will play Santa Fe.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Burroughs in this one. Burroughs coming out of that Pacific League with Crescenta Valley and Arcadia, who obviously ran away with the league. Burroughs played both of those teams really, really tough. Arcadia was nationally ranked there for a while before last week, so they're going to go on the road against Downey, the second place team out of the SGV League. And I just like the way Burroughs has played this year, so I'm going to go with them.
I'll agree with you on Burroughs. Downey, for them, it's going to be a one-man show, I think. Joseph Ruiz is leading them in hitting with hitting .354. He's also one of the best pitchers with a 1.4 ERA. So if anyone can do it, it's going to be him. But I think Burroughs, the team effort's probably going to be better than the one-man wrecking crew there. Wild card E game, the winner will play at San Dimas. It is Chafee going to Linfield Christian.
Now we're talking about leagues way out there, right? I'm going to go with Linfield Christian on this one. Their defense has been stellar this year. I believe their fielding percentage is at above a 960. They're also getting timely hitting. The Ambassador League doesn't get a whole lot of respect because it's so far out there, but it's pretty good competition. Chafee, on the other hand, third place in the Mount Baldy League. I've been a little inconsistent down the stretch here, so I'm going to go Linfield Christian at home.
I will agree again. Ryan DePalma is hitting .329 for them with 2 home runs, 15 RBIs, and on the mound, he's got a 1.72 ERA with 74 strikeouts. So I think that's who they're going to see. Also, I want to give a little shout-out to, we did a story for the TV show about Linfield Christian's former quarterback who suffered a brutal injury last year during the season. So please watch that on our website, on our Twitter, all that kind of stuff at FC Prep Insider. Going to Wild Card F. The winner will play Temecula Valley. It is Shadow Hills at Valley View.
All right, so this is another one of those tough ones for me. I really like Valley View out of the Inland Valley League, the third place team. They're playing just really good. I get an email from their coach seemingly every week nominating a couple players for Player of the Week. So they certainly have some talent. Shadow Hills, the third place team out of Desert Valley. They had a really tough time in that league when not playing the likes of La Quinta or of Palm Desert, who ended up being the top 2 teams in that league. I just like the way Valley View's playing down the stretch here, winners of 4 of their last 5. So we'll go with Valley View at home in this one.
Me too. I like Valley View's schedule and the record, so I'm going to take them as well. Wild Card G game. The winner will play Fullerton. It is Pauley going to Sage Hill.
This one's really interesting to me. That D3, Long Beach Poly is in a D3 given the size of the school and given the league that they play in, some of the competition. Dominic Campo has done just a phenomenal job over at Sage Hill the last 3-4 years, and they seem to be climbing that ladder in terms of programs on the rise. I just think that, with players like Murphy and some of the pitching that Long Beach Poly has right now, that they're going to be able to go on the road and solve the riddle that is Ashman Chona on the mound for Sage Hill. That kid's outstanding, seemingly throws a no-hitter every other time out. I'm going to go with Poly in this one.
I'm going to go with Sage Hill. I mean, it's going to be, again, I agree with you. It's going to be tough. A very small school going to a very big school, so there's the intimidation factor there. I don't care what people say. There's always going to be that intimidation factor there. Trevor Klein batting .417 for Sage Hill, 20 RBIs, so he's going to have to step up. And Ashman Chona, as you mentioned, they also have Drake Mossman, who's got a 1.28 ERA for Sage Hill. So they'll probably throw Ashman. I would assume that's who they're going to see, but they got Mossman in the bullpen ready to go if need be. Wild Card H, the winner will play Pacifica. It is Cajon and Temescal Canyon.
Temescal Canyon, man, I really like what they're doing out at the Sun Belt League. That's a program that's just been very consistent over the last 4 or 5 years. Cajon's lost a lot of players from a really good team 2 years ago and then lost a few more players from a pretty good team last year. 4th place team out of the Citrus Belt League. I just like Temescal Canyon at home. Going out in Lake Elsinore is going to be tough for Cajon. Ball flies out of that yard when it gets a little windy. Temescal Canyon's got the bats to do just that, hit it out of the yard.
I'm going to agree. Temescal Canyon, Caden Scuba hitting .424 for them, 13 RBIs. Dane Pedranos, who will probably be pitching, has a 1.43 ERA, and he's already thrown a no-hitter. So anytime I see a kid who's thrown a no-hitter, I make sure to try and.
Yeah, that was just last week.
Yeah. So congratulations to him. So I got Temescal Canyon as well. Wild Card I, the winner will play Capo Valley Christian. It is Torrance and Rancho Cucamonga.
Rancho needed a 2-game sweep of Chino Hills last week to get into the playoffs, and they got that. They're just playing really good baseball right now after that sweep to Etowanda, or after those losses to Etowanda a few weeks ago. Coach Farrell's really done a heck of a job with that program. The Reinhardt kid on the mound's really good. They've got depth in pitching. They've got good bats. Torrance, 3rd place out of the Pioneer League. The competition is not quite what they're facing, what Rancho is facing in the Baseline League. Rancho's at home. All things being equal, I think that's the deciding factor here. So I'm going to go with Rancho in this one.
Yeah, it's a tough one to pick, too, because Rancho's in one of the toughest leagues. Torrance, decent league, but not the same thing. A kid I want to mention from Rancho, Kobe Morgan's got 7 home runs. Always awesome to see the home runs there. But I'm going to go with Torrance. I'm going to go with the away team. Bradford Kong hitting .390 with a couple home runs, 25 RBIs. And Kai Hirschberger hitting .338, 2 home runs, 27 RBIs. They've got some bats in there. Again, not the same pitching they're probably going to face coming up Wednesday, but I think they can pull it off. Wild Card J.
Embrace the bait, Tommy. Embrace the bait.
Wild Card J. The winner will play Canwell Sacred Heart of Mary. One of my favorite. That is a mouthful. It is Bellflower, and they're going to go travel to Warren.
Bellflower came off the program year last year where they just, I mean, they were deep, they were really good, made a run in the playoffs, before running in, or in league, excuse me, before running into just a buzzsaw in the playoffs. I saw Warren a couple early in the year against El Camino Real. They've got some talent now, and it's a team that you shouldn't be sleeping on. Obviously Gar ran away with that San Gabriel Valley League, but Warren's got some depth in that lineup. They've got a couple sophomores that I like. The catcher's really good. And I just think Bellflower, third place team out of the Suburban League, behind Glenn and La Mirada. They're playing in Division III while those other guys are playing up a little bit. I think they're battle tested. I think Bellflower is going to go on the road in this one and take out the W here against Warren.
I agree. I'll agree on this one. Tyler Wright hitting .408. He's committed to San Jose State. Garrett Gladney has a 1,067 on base plus slugging. He's going to go play at Hawaii Hilo next year. I like Bellflower. Now, moving to Division II, less games in this bracket, only 4 of them. So we'll start with the Wild Card A. It is Paraclete and Village Christian. The winner will get Beckman, which is a tough task.
Yeah, no kidding, right? So, but the good news for Paraclete is that if they can get past this one, it's looking like maybe Ace Joey Estes will get that start against Beckman at Beckman, which would be huge. Obviously, they got to get past Village Christian, who second place in the Olympic League, is playing really good baseball right now. Winners of 4 of their last 5. Paraclete, third place team out of that Gold Coast League. That's a pretty brutal league now with Quartz Hill and with Sierra Canyon. And so they're doing some good things up at Paraclete. I like Paraclete to go on the road here and get the dub over Village Christian.
I'm going to go Village Christian. They have their own Shihei Otani, and his name is Tobias Plotkin. He's hitting .615 at the plate, and on the mound he's got a .84 ERA. So again, putting a lot of eggs in the basket here, but I think Tobias can pitch and hit against Paraclete and try and pull up the W for Village Christian. Next, Wild Card B. The winner will play Camarillo. It is Paso Robles and Santa Barbara.
Yeah, you kind of feel for these guys, right? I mean, they're kind of being, they're food for the slaughter here. I mean, once they get past these guys, you go Beckman, and then you got to go Camarillo. So let's talk about Santa Barbara here, led by Coach Warwicker, second place in the Channel Islands League. It's just a really good program that's coming off, a little bit of a difficult season despite the second place finish. They've been a little inconsistent. The pitching has been a little up and down. But I think that they've got enough pitching, and certainly they have enough hitting to take out Paso Robles and head down the road there to face Camarillo in the first round.
I agree with you. I'm going to go Santa Barbara, Bryce Warwicker, and Idris Firestone, both sophomores, kind of the main cogs in the lineup there. And David Chavarez True, a 105 ERA, 5-0 record. I'm assuming he's going to be pitching this one. So I think, again, it's going to be a tough task in that first round after they get out of the wild card, but I think they'll make it there. Wild Card C, the winner will play Ukaipa. It is Paloma Valley and Glendora.
Hey, you talk about, slaughter for the lambs. I mean, you got to face Ukaipa after this one. No, good luck there. But hey, you know what? Glendora, man, third place out of the Palomares League, brutal league with the Yala, South Hills, et al., right? I mean, it's just a really, really good league. Whereas Paloma Valley playing in the Sun Belt League, a little bit lower level of competition. Bryce Woldridge is probably going to be the MVP of that league for Glendora, hitting over 450, 3-sport guy. The only thing he doesn't do for Glendora is pitch, and I'm told that he can do that too. So with him, they've got the talent. Adam Armstrong on the mound, I'm assuming, would get the start here. I like Glendora at home in this one. Actually, I think they're playing this at Rio Hondo College, but I like Glendora being the home team here.
Yeah, if they don't get them, it'll be Cole Hiller throwing, who's got a .82 ERA. For Paloma Valley, Trevor Bateson, a .209 ERA. He has thrown a no-hitter. I was going to put that in there again. But yeah, I agree with you. I like Glendora. In this one, final wildcard game, Division II. It is wildcard D. The winner will play Tesoro. It is Tustin at El Modena.
Yeah, here we go. We got a little all-Orange County battle here with El Modena and Tustin. El Modena's got some serious talent. I saw them a few weeks ago. AJ Esperanza headed to Cal Poly Slow. Obviously, Nick Hansen, an MLB draft prospect. He's headed to Grand Canyon. I would assume that Hansen's going to get the start on the mound, where he's 86 to 89. Bats third in that lineup. They're at home. Ball seems to fly out there a little bit. And I just think the offense combined with Hansen on the mound is going to be a little bit too much for Tustin. third place out of the Empire League, a really good league this year with Cypress and Pacific at the top. But El Medina, second place out of the Crestview League. Being at home, I'm going to go with the Vanguards.
Yeah, I like him too. Nick Hansen's stats really quickly, hitting .425, 7 home runs, 30 RBIs. As you mentioned on the mound, the ERA is a 2.12 with 53 strikeouts. And if they don't pitch him, they still have Matthew Zamora, who has a 1.62 ERA. So if they want to risk it, I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Right. That's like, I mean, in that situation, it's kind of like, 1 and 1A, right? I mean, right. You can't necessarily go wrong with either guy. But in this particular case, if you've got a guy that is talented enough to be an MLB draft prospect, albeit with the bat, I mean, you kind of got to go with that guy, in my opinion.
All right, moving on up to Division I. Only 3 games in this playoff bracket. We'll start with the Wild Card A. The winner, talk about a buzzsaw, the winner will take on Harvard Westlake. So, Oaks Christian going to Valencia.
Yeah, Valencia here, third place team out of the Foothill League up there with West Ranch and those guys, and Oaks Christian, third place team out of the Marmont League, and both really good leagues. I just think Valencia's got a little bit too much going on with their offense and with their pitching. They played West Ranch really, really tough. Oaks Christian has been a little inconsistent for me this year. I saw them early at MLK weekend. I expected a lot from them, especially the talent that they had on the mound, but more so the talent that they had in the lineup. They've been a little bit underachieving for me this year, so I'm going to go with Valencia to take this one at home.
I'll agree. I'm going to go with Valencia. Lucas White hitting .393, 5 home runs, 28 RBIs for them. On the mound, he's got a 2.57 ERA. Next to the Wild Card B, we've got Notre Dame at Moore Park.
Yeah, you talk about underachieving teams. Sherman Oaks, Notre Dame, they fell all the way to 4th place in the Mission League. We had them ranked pretty high. I mean, we had them in the top 5 in the state for a long time. And then after the Boris Classic, they just kind of were a little inconsistent and fell apart a little bit. Not getting the quality pitching we thought they had. The timely hitting we thought that they were capable of. They've just been pretty inconsistent. Look, they're young. I mean, they're the core of their roster, the core of their best players are sophomores with a handful of juniors. There are not a lot of seniors on that team that play a big role, so I'd expect for them to have a nice bounce-back season next year. Moore Park's playing really good baseball. They've been on a tear of late, winners of 6 of 8, I believe it is. So they're playing really good ball. They're at home. Third place in that league is no joke. I'm going to go with Moore Park at home to upend a streaky Notre Dame team.
I'll go Notre Dame. I think the mound matchup is going to be Carter Kessinger against Zach Tipton. Kessinger with a 1.72 ERA, 47 strikeouts. Tipton for Moore Park, a 1.05 ERA, 7-2 record. But I got another kid I want to shout out for Sherman Oaks, Notre Dame, Noah Taylor, hitting .337, 5 home runs, 26 RBIs. I just think Notre Dame has more.
Look, and it's no knock on Notre Dame. It's just, I mean, their inconsistency is what scares me, right? And you mentioned Noah Taylor, heck of a football player. Also, he just recently committed to Cal Poly Slow for baseball, though, where I think he's got a bright future. Big physical kid.
The final game we're going to talk about, we finally made it to the end. The Grand Marathon of the Wild Card is almost complete. The winner will play Huntington Beach. It is King going to Vista Marietta.
All right, so Vista Marietta. You talk about some teams that have been a little inconsistent. They've got obviously some deep talent with Jake Moberg, Andrew Mosiello on the mound. Moberg being an MLB draft prospect as a shortstop, but potentially on the mound as well. I would assume they're going to throw him, maybe save Mosiello for if he's back from injury for the second game if they make it that far. Martin Luther King out of the Big 8 League. My fondness for that league. That's just awesome. I think that's one of the best leagues in the entire state, and certainly, in my opinion, this year, the best league out in the IE. They did battle with Corona, Norco, and San Diego. So to get third place in that league is really, really good. Trevor Cadd, Gabe Briones, the catcher, really talented players. Nick Pena headed to Oregon. I like MLK to go on the road. Steve Madrill's a heck of a coach, as is Coach Mosiello of Vista Marietta, but I just think that Martin Luther King's got a little bit too much for them offensively to go in and take the W on the road there.
I'm going to agree with you. Trevor Cadd, you mentioned him, 5 home runs already this season. He's going to be Fullerton, so he's going to be a tough out for Vista Marietta. There it is. There's divisions 3, 2, and 1. We're going to have some bonus podcasts because it's playoffs, so stay tuned for that. Les, anything else you want to add?
Yeah, check us out on Twitter at PBR_California, on Instagram at PBR California. I'll actually be down in your neck of the woods for the next couple of days down in San Diego, checking out Torrey Pines against La Costa Canyon today and Rancho Bernardo against Poway tomorrow. Heading back up here to get some playoff action. So we'll be loading it up with some playoff coverage here in the next few weeks. Check us out on Twitter again at PBR_California, on Instagram at PBR California.
All right, that is it. We'll see you guys later this week with more playoff talk.